Hey guys, this is Prabpreet from Tech Analogy. So today I'm going to be reviewing two sliders from Rhino from the ROV Pro series. Rhino gives us two sliders in the ROV Pro series, and in this series, two of their sliders come out to be Everyday and Traveler. Surprisingly, Traveler is actually larger than the Everyday use one. I guess they're trying to include the fact that, everyday usage should be smaller than the Traveler one. But for me at least, I would like my Traveler one smaller, but everyday one longer, because I can carry it in my car or I can take it anywhere I want to go with. But while traveling, I'm constructed to only carrying whatever my size or my baggage can allow. So in that case, I would rather like my Traveler one to be smaller. But that's okay, it's just names, and all that matters is how they work, right? So with these two sliders, we get the everyday version, which is 17 inches, and we get the Traveler one, which is about 24 inches. So in this Rhino ROV Pro series, both of the sliders are actually completely motorized. One of the biggest cons about the slider that I do not like is that you can't actually move the slider without the motor. So if you ever run out of battery, however, the battery on this is great. I believe I've used it for 2 hours straight and it was still running perfectly fine. So that's not a complaint, but having to use your phone, having to use the motorized slider the whole time just makes it a big hassle sometimes when you just want a simple panning shot. However, it's great to get hyperlapses and long time lapses on this slider because it has those features where you can just connect it with your phone and you're good to go. These sliders can also be connected to your smartphones, such as your iPhone or Android devices. With this application, you're able to control the movement, or you can even add a speed ramp to the built-in slider so that you can slide slowly and then progresses it to the full speed, which is a really cool feature that I like, to get some really nice shots where it starts off at slow speed and then it picks up the speed slowly and then goes really fast later on. So that's a really good way to bring in some dramatic emotion towards the film. You don't want to move your camera back and forth for 30 minutes or an hour or 2 hours or so. So there's actually a neat feature in this that you can hit a loop and then it will just loop back and forth for you, which is a really neat feature for me because now I don't have to sit behind the camera or actually use my hands to slide the thing back and forth for, let's say, 2 hours or so. Rhino actually produced a really nice slider that's completely motorized and you can use it from your phone, and I believe it's one of the cheapest sliders out there that you can buy that come motorized, and this actually makes life of a lot of filmmakers easier. So really nice technique here to give us something that doesn't break our bank for sure. So both of these models actually come around $400, which is a really nice price for any filmmaker to spend on a slider. Usually Edelkrone sliders are already around that range, but the only feature that they have external of ROV Pro is they actually slide twice as much length. So I did do a review for Edelkrone Slider Plus, the XL version of it, so it really goes long and back and forth, and that really isn't one of my greatest sliders that I've owned, and I paid about $500 for that. And the thing is that even though that slider isn't motorized, it would still cost me about $500, and that's really one of the benefits you get with Rhino RV Pro, is that you get a more motorized slider even though it's around that cheap price. You can actually find a bunch of videos on YouTube where people are getting sponsored to make this Rhino ROV review videos where they talk completely amazing things about this slider, and as they're sponsored, they also give you a promo code so they can make something off of that as well. But this video is completely not sponsored by anyone apart from my own self reviewing this slider. So the biggest con that I see in these sliders is the fact that I'm not able to move the slider back and forth with my own hand, and that really limits me at times because I just want to run and gun. I just want to get that little slider shot and move to the other side of the thing. But so that's a problem I have with the slider, that I'm not able to use it right away. I need some setup time, maybe 30 seconds, 40 seconds, but after that completely I get the control over the slider, and if my phone is charged and my slider is charged, I'm pretty much good to go. So the big question arises that which slider should I get from Rhino? Should I get the everyday version or should I get the traveler version? And this is really one of the things that I had to actually try both of the sliders to come to the conclusion that I'm going to go with the smaller slider, the everyday slider, because here's the reasoning behind it. However, the traveler version actually gives you more length in your sliding shots. They don't actually give you more mobility, and they don't give you more, you know, flexibility to work with your thing. So with a bigger tripod, as I reviewed in the past video of Edelkrone, is that if you get a longer tripod, that means that your weight is going to be projected more on the ends. So for example, if you're ever using a panning head or something, and your camera on top of a panning head, maybe include a microphone on top, maybe a rig, you know, your whole complete rig can be about 5 pounds at times. And that being towards the end of a slider, of a long slider, can actually put a lot more pressure on one of those sides, and then that can cause your slider to be, or your tripod or your whole system to be actually uneven, unstable, and it can tip over and fall and break your camera. So the bigger obviously gives you more problems. However, the Rhino ROV Pro, I did not have any trouble. You know, I just put it on a normal tripod. I'll link the tripod that I'm using down below. It's about $150. Really good tripod for the price also. And with this slider, it didn't tip over or anything, but still, to be careful, if I was to add some more weight, maybe if I was using something like a Canon or a Cine lens with that tripod and getting that slider shot, maybe my tripod will actually tip over and fall. So just to be careful, I'd rather go with the smaller version. Also, the smaller version actually fits into my backpack, into my traveler backpack, and I can actually take it anywhere across the world with me. So that's it for today, guys. And if you guys have any comments or questions, please make sure to comment them down below. Also, if I didn't cover anything in this video that I should have covered and you would like me to mention it next time, please also make sure to comment that down below. If you guys like this video, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe.